Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk contracts and chaos. Today, we are talking about some favorite apps that we use on some of these a daily basis, but pretty regular basis in real estate. I think we have 8 of them that we're going to talk about today?
I think so. 8 of them. Yep.
Yeah.
And some we both use, some we don't both use. So I think we're going to have a great conversation about, wait, why do you use this? Like, what I've never even heard of one of them that you have in here. So I'm like, okay, I have no idea what this is.
I'm excited. This is what's so cool about this. We just talked about this the other day, not on a podcast episode, but how very similar we are and so dramatically different we are at the
Yes.
same
Oh my
time.
God. Literally, I saw your post about the flower cart and I was like, son of a bitch. I was like,
It was
okay.
so good. People had so much fun with it. And she was able to get like walk up people as well because we just did it at the park. So,
Right.
and it was luckily because it's been so cold and disastrous
I
here.
know.
It
That's
was
why we're waiting
so
a little bit.
beautiful that day that people were just out enjoying the park anyways. So it was great. And I had my Reminder Media magazines out there, and it
Nice.
was a really good day. But let's
Back
talk
to
about
today's topic.
technology. Yeah, what's important about technology, Alyssa?
I think it makes things faster. And you can, even though it's technology, it's still some of what we're talking about here, it can still be personalized. Um, and why not use it? Like, I guess my thought is like, there, if like kind of back to if your firm doesn't wire funds, what else are they not doing?
Bro,
So
I
if
just
you,
had that, not last closing, but the closing before. The attorney was in Charlotte, and they're like, "Oh no, we don't wire. We don't wire commission." I'm like, "What do you mean? It is
right?
2025."
Yeah. So I guess my thought process is like, if it's going to make your job easier, why not use it?
Mhm.
Why not? So, and I think using the right apps and knowing how to use them well is going to keep you efficient and more productive. So if you are trying to grow your business, these are worth it. These are going to help you get there. Um,
And these aren't items that we're talking about because and if this works for you, great. Some real estate firms and teams are run on being automatic.
right.
These specific apps aren't ones that like we set it, forget it, and it's like a well-oiled machine that just spits out business for us. These are tools that we use to amplify what we already do, and whether that's writing cards or sending messages or things like that, we're just trying to make that time more efficient because if you can do 5 of those same items in the same amount of time it would have taken you to get one, you're just expanding your reach, you're expanding your business at that point. So, yeah, I'm all about a technology. And as
Exactly.
much as I'm on the run with like the kids and stuff, having something that I can do and use from my phone or my laptop even is
Mm-hmm.
so important. Like having to go back to the office to do something. Oh God.
I can't imagine. I remember my first firm, like when I first got started, I could use signs from the office and I had to use them for my first listing. I was like, oh, I have to run like, and the office was like 35 minutes for me. I'm like, this is not working. Um, so I think, yes, that you make a good point that this makes life easier. It makes you so you can run your business on the go.
Yes.
Um, which is how the world works these days. I mean, I still want you to have, quote, I hate the term work life balance, but I still want you to have a life. But this makes it possible so you can do both at once if you need to.
Yeah, just
Um,
integrate it, There is no
yeah,
work-life balance. It's just a matter of
right.
harmony.
It's
They have to work
exactly,
together.
exactly. That's what I love about our job. But the first one, I think, is the most important one on here.
Mhm.
We talk a lot about safety. We talk a lot about knowing who you're working with. Don't be I call them a Pop Tart agent where you get the call, you run out the door and you go. This needs to be the minimum that you're doing to check out potential clients and leads. And this app is called Forewarn. Our MLS Is it our MLS or is it South Carolina that pays for it for us?
Yeah, I think it's our MLS. I think
I
it's
think they
Canopy.
do now. Yeah, I
Yep.
think before it was South Carolina. I don't know, but I know it's paid for us.
Mhm.
Some MLSs, some firms pay for it. I know Coldwell was paying for it before our MLS was. Um, if your firm isn't, or for some reason, try and get them to, or your MLS to. It's worth every penny, but
Yeah.
also like it's worth every penny.
I was gonna
So
say, even if they
if
won't
they're,
pay for it,
yeah,
it's an investment. It's a write-off also.
exactly. All of these are write offs. Um, but Forewarn is a safety app and it will give you a background check on people. You can look them up by name and location, approximate age. You can also just punch in the phone number, which is my
Yep.
favorite way to do it. Now,
Yep.
I will tell you, it's not always 100% accurate with who the people are associated with. And I know from personal experience, there is a woman in my hometown who thinks it's funny to punch my number in for things or to give people my number.
Oh
So now it's
God.
attached to her and her family and all the bullshit they've done. But under my name, it's clear. But it shows me like associated with, and I'm like, I have no association to those people.
Yep.
Um, but like there was, this is how we've all heard the story of me and the psycho client who went
Mhm.
psycho like the week of closing.
Yep.
Um, this is how I found out. This is the app I was like, I should have done it at the beginning. I now do it at the, first introduction. Um, but that's how I found out he had convictions for violent attacks on people, how he had multiple charges for it. And I've done it with other people where I, like, my former team lead sent me a lead once. I put it through Forewarn and I said, thanks, but no thanks. This guy's a convicted rapist.
Yeah.
Give it to a dude on the team where you can take it. But I'm not, absolutely not putting myself in that. But now, yes, let's stop right here for a second. Can people be reformed? Absolutely. I'm not personally taking that risk with someone I don't know, someone
Right.
who found a link on a website through Google and called a phone number.
It's
The
not worth
odds are
it,
not right. The
folks.
odds are not in my favor in that
Mhm.
situation. So,
But yeah, I do the same thing as far as like if it's a sign call or a text, or I'll just run it right through there. There was one instance that it was a referral, and I think we've talked about this once on the podcast. I got a referral from another agent that I know, and I did not run them
yes,
through Forewarn because it was a referral, you know?
right?
Um, and come to find out through the transaction that they had some past that was affecting our our transaction because of, having to be certain distances away
From
from things.
schools.
And yeah, like, and I felt so upset. I was so embarrassed, and like they were very very sweet people, and again, this is something that had happened years and years ago, and who knows, right?
Right. Who knows?
But and I can't say for certain, but if I had run a forewarn, would I have taken that referral?
Right. Especially like you bring your kids to showings and stuff sometimes. Like,
And they luckily, and I thought about that too, like my kids had never had an interaction, you know what I mean? But it's one of those, it's just a yucky feeling. And
yeah.
it's a yucky feeling to feel like you have to be this way in this world, but this is the world that we live in,
Right.
folks. So,
And we work in an industry where we tend to be targeted
mhm,
by people like that because they know we'll be
we're
alone
alone.
in different locations. We're an easy target. So at a minimum, you should be using Forewarn at a
Yep.
minimum.
Yep, and it's easy. Easy, easy, easy. It
Hmm.
is an easy app. If you are terrible with technology, I promise you, you will be able to figure this app out. It's
Yes.
literally two buttons. You've got this.
Yep. It's so easy. I think the hardest part was when I first set it up, they had two-figure authentication, whatever it's called. And I was like, Jesus, just let
I
me into the
hate
app.
those. The
Just
two
let me
factor
in. Yes.
authentication. It's such a pain in the butt.
Yes.
Anyways, moving on. This is something that I don't use actually. So I'm
And you
excited.
need to.
Well, I think kind of like a different version of it, but
Yes.
you tell me, you tell me what it is.
So Popple is a digital business card. I have it. I'm going to show you right now on the home screen. I have a QR code on my phone. Um, so people can just scan that, or it works with its NFC. So like we can just touch phones and it will transfer information. You can also get like accessories to go with it, like kind of like what I was showing you on Etsy the other day. That company makes their own as well that are, works with their stuff. But It's a digital business card. So it has all of my information, all of my links to everything. Um, and it just transfers information to that person. But what it also does, I don't know if it does it in the free version, but I use the professional version. It also collects their information and acts like a mini CRM. And so when they add it, I can put a note in like, this is where I met them. And it will automatically remind me to reach out to them in the next 24 to 48 hours to be like, hey, it was great connecting with you, blah, 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 blah. But it's great. I don't carry business cards that often. I have them, but honestly, like they aren't as used as they used to be, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
And
No,
this
I
is
was
a
telling a new agent this week, she was like, "How many business cards should I order?" And I was like, "Honestly, I haven't had business cards in 2 years."
right.
Um, and we were just talking about this. I'll end up getting some sort of card to be handing out at different events and things, but that's not the point. Like, we used to have on the team, like, on a Saturday, you would go out and try to it was like a scavenger hunt. You have to like find a man with a blue hat. You have to all these things and hand out business cards to everybody. And I
Right.
handed out 500 business cards in my first like 4 months, and I swear to you, I have not heard
Oh.
anything
Well, and
from
like
that.
we were talking about conferences last week, right? So these are not all business cards, but this is what happens when people give you their card. They get stuck in a pile somewhere and you never look at them again. Never.
Mhm.
Especially like I feel like especially at conferences. I have one in here I need to reach out to this week. But you get so many little things thrown at you. That business card is going to go in the bottom of the pile. And when I get home and I empty that bag out, guess what? It's probably going to get thrown away if
Mhm.
I don't sit down and put it in my CRM for some reason.
Yep.
Um, or I'm not going to remember who they are. I like, and there's different versions, like, or different companies. Popple is the one I use. Um, but there's other digital business card platforms that you can use.
I have a
And
link tree. And I don't know if that's NFC capable or not, but I use that a
anything
lot.
is NFC capable.
Okay.
I think I need to explain that technology to you.
To all of us,
Mm.
truly. Like, I know what it is, like, I know, like, the tap and
Right.
things,
Right. So it's the
but
tapping thing. And so you program that chip to relay the information you want relayed. So you could put the link to your link tree as what that relays.
gotcha.
So it would be like texting you the link to your link tree. Boof, there like it just pulls it up.
But
Um,
Linktree might not collect information as well.
correct. I don't know if
Got
you
you.
can do that there. I'm trying to think. There's another one a lot of people use, but if you just Google or go in the App Store and put in digital business card, you'll get some options. I really like it. And I can, I can put that QR code on anything. I
Mhm.
can do the digital, like the NFC transfer. And it's one less thing I have to carry on. I will say, like when you go to luncheons and they have raffles, well, do you have a post-it? Because I don't carry cards most of the time.
I'll just write
Like,
it down for you.
yeah, it's not. Um, but I love it because then, like I said, it collects it and reminds me, reach out to this person.
Mhm.
So then I just put them in my CRM later.
Yep, that's a good one.
Yeah. Do you use TouchNote?
We've talked about it in the podcast, but I have not. I use a
This
different
one.
one. I'd have to pull the name of it up, but it's not an app. It's just an online website.
Okay, so TouchNote is an app. I used to use it just for personal reasons, and it will take like pictures in your phone and turn it into a postcard. So it's great. Like if you finished a listing appointment, snap a picture of that house, put a personal message, boom, they'll have a postcard in the next couple days. And they're only like a couple bucks each. I love it when I'm traveling. Instead of like buying my niece and nephew's generic postcards, I take a picture or picture of me. Or like for birthdays, if you need to like jump on their Facebook, grab a great picture of them and their kids or something, or like if we've taken a selfie together recently, boom, done, birthday card in the mail. I don't have to worry about it.
That's a good one. The
Yeah,
birthday card, like if you have pictures of you and them, that's a cool way
yeah,
to do it.
I love it. And it's like I said, it's great for client follow-ups, thank you notes. I put closing gifts in here, but I think it's a little impersonal unless it's like like I would probably use it for like I have a referral that closes next week. When a family friend's buying a house out of the area. I think it would be cool, like download a picture from the listing. And that's a great touch to be like, hey, congratulations on your new house. Like, so excited for you. Thanks for thinking of me for a referral.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good one too.
yeah, but as like a closing gift for my clients, it probably not. unless they're closing out of state for something. Um, but I
I have
love
a
it. And
closing today that I like went to the good old CVS Instaprint picture. And the
yeah.
very first picture that we went under contract on the house and we took a picture of them in front of the house that night and it was
Oh,
like a little dark out and like it's not but they were so can we get a picture? Can we get a picture? So yes, we got a picture and I printed that out and got a frame and that's going in my closing basket
I
because
love
like I
it.
do think that people it's a connection piece beyond just a regular piece of mail. And we've
Right.
talked about this. Nobody sends mail. So
Nope.
getting a personalized card is so cool.
Yeah.
This is another step above. A client last year, our final walkthrough, she brought her grandmother and her mom to close or to the final walkthrough because her gram was like, I didn't think I'd ever see the day that she'd be able to buy a house. And so it was her mom, her grandmother, and her daughter. So I was like, how about I take a 4 generation picture for you in
Right.
front of
That's
this
really
house?
cool.
Oh, I've got goosebumps. It was so cute, but then got that picture to them too. So
Yeah.
pictures go a long way. That's something
Pictures,
that
they do.
it may show up as a postcard, but that might end up in a frame and
Oh,
people
yeah.
keep that
Oh, yeah.
forever.
Especially if you find a good picture. I like these for house anniversaries.
Mm-hmm.
It's done. Like, and it's not the cheesy, like, standard, whatever everyone orders from market, whatever, market dwellings,
Mm-hmm.
which isn't bad. Don't get me wrong.
I do like market dwellings sometimes.
But yes, but like, I think this is a more personal touch, especially for that 1 year. Like,
Yeah.
hey guys, you made it a year. Congratulations.
Don't forget to change out your HVAC filters.
Right. Hopefully you've done that more than once, especially if you have pets. But
Right.
um, now you use Splice though. We both use the next one, don't we?
Yeah, we both use Splice for editing, and this is a very and I'm saying this because I've had people that use both, very similar to like CapCut. I know
Mm-hmm.
that's a very popular editing tool that people use as well, but no, it is a video editing app that we use to create reels, which is
Yep, reels and
great.
TikToks
Reels, TikToks, all of that stuff. You can upload your own. Now they've started doing like you can manually edit it or it will
or AI.
automatically do it for you. Depending on what you're doing,
Yes.
having them edit it is cool. If you're trying to like cut words and make it work for what you're trying to like get across,
Yeah.
if you're doing a speaking video, that doesn't really work out that well.
Mm-mm.
But if you're doing some B roll with some text over the top of it, they do a pretty good job with
Yeah,
that.
and
So,
yeah, and that does make it easier. And I think you can do long form in here, like if you really didn't want a second editor for your YouTube stuff. But I think this is phone specific. I don't think there's a desktop for this.
there isn't.
And I want to try, I think I can get it on the iPad. If I could do it on the iPad, I think I would like it better for long form,
Hmm.
but it's so small on a phone for long form that
It
I
is.
would lose my mind.
It is.
But I
It works out pretty good. It has like the transitions and things like that.
yeah,
The other thing that I use a lot, besides like a text feature in editing things like this, is you can actually put an overlay
yes.
on top of your video there. So like my logo, if I do a background remover and just have my transparent logo, you can have that like pop up on the screen in the very beginning for compliance purposes, all of that
Right.
stuff. It's in there in the first like 5 seconds and then it fades out. Same at the end. Put that on there with some contact information. And it just looks really, really smooth. You can put a voiceover in this app as well. And they
Yep.
have their own library of music too, which sometimes I use that and sometimes I still add music in
Yeah,
Facebook
agreed.
or Instagram just
Agreed.
to make the algorithm
Right?
happy.
Yeah, but I love using the overlay with the voiceover. So like I can be showing like first it starts as me talking, 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 overlay, but my voice continues. Like
Hmm.
I love doing that. It that's an app I use daily. That and captions to go with it because I like the way captions does the captions better
Yeah, I
than
love
Splice.
captions. It's
Yeah.
easy. Yeah, so you just like download it from Splice. I wish we could just like have it
I know.
all in
I wish they
one,
would.
but you
Dear
know,
Splice and captions, please have a baby.
yes, please
Or
or just like
Splice,
integrate.
yeah, Splice, make your caption option better because
Yeah,
it's
because
not
their
that great.
caption, yeah, it's not great.
It's not
No.
great.
Mm-mm,
Um,
that's one thing we can agree on
yeah,
that. I don't love the captions and spice. But besides that, the editing, the I really do like the transitions. They have some good ones there. Yeah,
yeah,
you can speed up the video, you can slow it down, all the things. It's good. And it's not super expensive. What is it, $10 a month?
yeah. Or I think I just pay for the whole year.
Yeah, it's usually
Um,
cheaper. It's like think it's 15% cheaper for the year. I
Something
don't
like that.
remember.
Yeah, I don't know. I just paid for the whole year because I don't have to worry about it. Or
Hmm.
think like it's just done.
Yep.
Now the next one you use, I don't use this one.
Yes, I've used this so much, especially in the past year. I've worked with a lot of relocation buyers. This app is called Marco Polo, like the pool game we used to play.
Marco.
Marco Polo. It is a free app. There is a paid version, but I've never used it. Um, and this is something, if I know that I'm working with a relocation client, this is something that I talk about in our buyer intake call. I have an app. It's not my app, an app that I use.
Right.
It's called Marco Polo. You will need to download and create an account as well, but it's free. And then we just connect as friends on that app. What it is, and if you've ever done virtual showings, I'm sure you've done the spotty FaceTime or tried to make a million less than 60-second videos so you can text
Mm-hmm.
those or put them in an email so they don't like eat up all of that space. Marco Polo, you can do a video walkthrough, and the buyer, the client, whoever's on the other side can watch that video live with you while you're doing it, or it holds that video for 30 days inside the app. So it works out really well for me, for my clients. Like if we're showing several houses, sometimes things blend together, especially if you're not actually walking in those houses, right? If you're just looking at video after video. So being able to then be like, okay, we're going to go back through these videos, and there's no limit on how long the video can be, anything like that, so they can go back through and actually watch those videos again and be like, oh yeah, that's the one with the weird kitchen, and oh yeah, I hated the front yard in this one. And they can video back to you. It's a conversation. Or what I usually do is we do the video walkthrough there, so they have all of that, and then I'll call them or FaceTime them and be like, was there anything you wanted to take a closer look at? You
Right.
know, it works really good if there's a time difference. I had clients that were, on a time delay. They were in work and we literally couldn't have lined it up unless they were getting up super early or staying up late, however it was working. So I can go show those houses and just try to be very thorough and very informative, and they could watch the showings when they got up or when they got home from work.
Can you like pre-record stuff, or do you have to record in the app and it sends it right then?
In the app. Hmm.
Okay. Because like I have the clients with the time difference, but it was also like showing in the mountains, so there was no signal. So
So
I
that is
had,
that is the cool thing with this too. So I've had issues where like I don't have a bar. I
right?
don't
You
have a
get
bar.
nothing and you're like, oh
And
God.
it's very much like Squadcast for us recording right now, where you might see a time delay. Like if they were watching it live,
Right.
it's not great. But there, once it uploads, once you leave and it finish uploading, they'll be
Okay.
able to see it clear, which
Okay.
is great.
Yeah, that makes me feel, because we've discussed it before, and that was my thing. I
Mhm.
was like, but what if I don't have signal?
Yeah.
Like, no, I like that idea. Because that's
Yeah, I like
sometimes the
it.
issue with like FaceTime showings. I'm like, there's not enough signal here in the
Mhm.
mountains to do this. So I'm just going to record and send it to you when I have signal and hope you don't need me to drive an hour back.
Yeah, right. And going back to Splice, you can actually download the videos once they're recorded. Like you can download them from the app, and then you're like, "Oh, hey, let me chop this all up and do a quick like, here's what I did today." You
Oh, I
know?
like that. That's a good
Yeah.
idea. That's a good idea.
We'll tell you the downloads are pretty big,
Yeah.
pretty
But that's
large
why
in
we
size.
pay. We pay Apple for memory every month and
For
we
lots
delete
of memory.
things. And yes. Yes. Okay, I'm really excited about this next one because I feel like I've been looking for something like this and just haven't pulled the trigger on it. Like my CRM will do it, but I don't like texting through there.
Mhm.
Tell me about Reach.
Reach is a texting app, but it's not a group app. It doesn't come from a pre-generated number. It comes from your number.
Love
So,
that.
yes, me too. Because like with our Lofty, like you can get a text number or things like that for people to call, but it's not my number, right?
Right.
So with Reach, you download the app. It's very, very simple. You can upload CSVs to it. You can connect your contacts from like in your phone, and you can create groups. So in my Reach, I have past clients as a group, and I have Startown parents as a group. I have prospects as or leads as a group. And then every different event that I do, like my mommy and me pictures or this bouquet thing that I just did, like each thing has a group, and you can delete them once you're done with them. That no big deal, but you can keep them too and have them as reference of that group of people. Then you create one text, like it says like add a template. So you say what you want to say. You can upload a picture to it, and then you're like, who do you want to send it to? And you pick the group. And what happens is it then pulls it up in your messenger, like not your Facebook Messenger, like your regular text app with that individual person in there. So if you wanted to say something a little more quirky to that person and say, add a little extra detail or change the name, because you can just say, hey, friend, or hey
Right.
there, and not include a name. You can change it individually without having to copy and find the person and paste and change the every time you hit send, it pops up the next one in that group list of who you're sending it to. Now, if you are somebody that uses text messaging a lot, once you do something like this, if you're sending out 25 or 50 text messages, then you have to scroll a long, 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 long way in your text app to get down to,
Right.
your mother-in-law asking you a question.
Oh,
But
don't
besides
your
that,
mother-in-law's not pinned?
I don't
I
have
think.
anybody pinned.
Well, you're pinned on mine.
Oh, honestly,
Yeah.
I pinned somebody on accident and lost my mind because I couldn't figure out how to unpin them, and then my sister unpinned them for me,
Oh, I
and I
love
don't
that.
have anybody pinned.
I have my pins are full. I love the pins because like the people I text every day right there, I don't have to scroll. So like
That's
it's you,
hilarious.
Aaron, the family group text, Eric,
See,
Emily, the TC.
that is probably a good idea. I just
Um,
like re-highlight things that I need to go back to.
yeah, no, my mom is pinned, obviously. My dad, and then there's another like friends group text because those texts are popping off all day, every day.
Right.
So they're right there. I love it. I love it.
Okay. Well,
Um,
maybe I'll try a pin or two.
yeah, you should try a pin.
See how that
And
works.
I
But
won't be
no, it's
offended if I don't make the list.
how many pins can you get? I have 10 brothers and sisters, so
9. 9.
I just
Um,
won't tell anybody the favorites list.
I
That's
think
all.
it's 9. Let me look. Yeah, it's 9. So it looks like, yeah, like all my people are
Mhm.
pinned. And um it's great. I love it.
No,
But
that is
like,
cool. But this is something like we were talking about a couple of episodes ago about like 10-minute prospecting. Pull up
mhm,
that last open house that you had where you collected all their information and just shoot them all a quick message and say, hey, reaching out. There's
right.
actually a new home in that neighborhood that was listed today. Do you want to see it?
Mhm.
Easy peasy.
I like that. I'm I'm going to open up my app store right now. And get that one.
That's a good one.
Okay. So the next one we both use, the
We both
next one
use.
we've discussed. Um
We're using it right now, actually.
yeah, we use it literally every time we record with you guys. This is how we keep our businesses organized. I don't really do a lot of personal life stuff in it. I know some people do. Um, and we use it for the podcast because we can both be in it and update things and change things. But we love Trello. At this point, we need to see if we can get like a sponsor from
A
them.
code from Trello? Yeah.
Yeah, something. Because I feel like we talk about it everywhere to everyone. Actually, I got asked to teach a class on it, and I was like, I don't know if I'm. Oh, I got to ask you about something. I don't know if I'm that savvy, but I could brush up on it. I love this app, and
Yes.
we're covering it here. Yes, it is a desktop app. It is also an app for your phone, and they
Hmm.
are connected. So
Yes.
if Brenna and I are texting back and forth, like, "Hey, this would be a great idea for an episode," I jump into Trello, boop, boop, throw that in, or Brenna jumps into Trello, boop, 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 puts that
Hmm.
in. If
Or
I'm
this morning, even, we were in here and I added my apps into
yes,
our little notes section of this episode and saved them. So now she can pull them up on her computer. We're looking at the same thing.
and
So,
like
and
as we talk, I can you see me updating it on Yarn with the strike through, so
yes.
we know what we've discussed and keep us going. Like I
Hmm.
love it.
Hmm.
Yeah,
It's
and it
easy too for like client management. Oh, for me, anyways.
mhm,
I'm a very visual person. So I have like we just did a 5-star prospect um podcast not that long ago. So I have my pipeline lined out with 5 stars,
love it.
So you can drag and drop those people and it's easier than having to like move them to a different spreadsheet or in my opinion, listen, people that love spreadsheets will live
Right,
and die by spreadsheets. I know those people. But for me, I can color code things.
Mhm.
Oh God, I just love it so much. And I don't use the paid version, but I've been told that the paid version is super cool because you can actually connect it with dates and calendar
You can
reminders
do
and things like
yeah.
that. So it is something that I'm actually looking at upping the Trello
I
this year.
was using the paid version. I
Hmm.
think I went back out of it for a while, but I'm actually because I do share my calendar and I'm trying to use my Google Calendar more with my TC because I'm an Apple Calendar girl, but I
Hmm.
figured out how to connect them. This will also connect with my Google. I think you have to have the paid version for that so that I can put things in both and it will just boop 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 boop. Um yeah, that's
Wait,
and
how do you share your calendar with your TC?
I don't know, I gave her access to it.
Oh, okay, cool. I like that.
Yeah, so she can put because like she's really great at asking me, "Hey, can we
Hmm.
schedule an inspection this day?" But when I was super busy, I don't have time for that shit. Look at
Hmm.
my calendar.
You
And
tell me if
so,
I have time for it.
yeah, so I put everything in there now. And I'll put notes like, "Okay, this is movable. This is not. This is like," so she knows what she can and can't move to schedule things.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it just makes life easier. And then I just, "Oh, okay, I have an inspection this day. Cool."
Yeah, I think I want to do that because then, like, you can create checklists and things in Trello too, which is so satisfying because
Yes.
if you write down a checklist, it's great to like check those boxes off. But if you check a box in Trello, say you have 10 items on this to do list, it'll say 10% done. Then you
Mhm.
check three more, and now it's 40% done. And then I'm like, oh, I love
Yep.
that. But each of those items, you, from what I understand, can connect to a date, right? And then
Yes.
at that point, it pops up a reminder that these are the important things that we're working on. Whether that's, for example, 12-week year, these are the items that you said you were going to get done this first quarter, which we are almost
Shh.
done.
Shh.
We
Shh.
are almost done our first
I know.
quarter.
I know. Yeah, let's not talk
We have to
about
put
that.
that on our Trello board because we need another quarter update.
I thought I put it there, but I'll double
Ah!
check. Yeah, because that's like next week.
Yeah. April starts
Okay,
Q2.
I'm gonna add it right now. So
Yikes.
we'll bump out something else. Not a problem.
Yikes. That's nutty. But yeah, that's our I use let me scroll back through. I haven't used Marco Polo in a couple of weeks because I'm not working with any relocation clients right now, but I used Forewarn yesterday.
Hmm.
I did not use Popple. I used Linktree yesterday. Have not ever used TouchNote. I have a say there's a website that I use. Splice I used this morning. Reach I used last week, and Trello we're on today. Like these are things that we use consistently. That some are paid, say some have a subscription price to them. But again, folks, this is a business. You cannot run this business, any business, but this business specifically on 100% profit. It just does not work.
No,
It doesn't. So,
no. And if you figured that out to how to do this with no cost, can you call me and let me know? Because like I'm curious. And if you say you're at 100% brokerage, no, you're not.
mhm.
You're not. No brokerage is 100%
It can't
when you
like
really
a
break it
business
down.
can't run on that.
Mm-mm.
It just does not make sense. But if you had to pick one, you can only afford to like pay for one, get forewarned.
Yep, absolutely. Because
We
you
are
can do all the other things in different ways. Like
mhm,
Trello, I know a very successful agent who runs a large team here. She started with popsicle sticks and solo cups. That's how she
mhm.
tracked
And
her
Trello you can
business.
use for free for a while.
Yeah, Trello's for free.
Mhm.
Um,
Marco Polo's free. Splice has a cost. Um,
yeah, Popple, there's a free version. I
yeah.
think the free version won't connect the information, but
Mhm.
yeah, everything else. Splice or TouchNote, you just pay per postcard. So
Yep.
there's no like membership or anything. So
So
yeah.
the biggest investment is for one. Listen, we are in it with you guys. We will tell you how to ball on a budget, but
Yeah.
you have to actually give us a budget to work with, you know?
Right. Yeah. It can't be I only pay my closing costs and my association fees. That's not going to work. But anyway,
Yikes.
those are our 8 favorite apps. Um, 9 if you count that we mentioned captions in there.
Nope,
Um,
still only 8 because we have the introduction labeled as one.
oh, well, there you go. 8
8
favorite
apps.
apps. But take what we've given you, check it out, see if you like it. If you have an app that you're like, I can't believe they didn't mention this one, maybe we don't know about it. I mean, there's
Yeah.
millions of apps out there.
Yeah.
We'd love to hear about it. Send us an email. It's contractsandchaos@gmail. Hit us up in our DMs on Instagram. Again, contracts and chaos. But we'd love to know what you guys use. Maybe there's something that you're like, why are they using that old outdated thing? They should be using this instead. Okay, cool. Let me know. Like, I'll try it. I'm up for anything.
Yeah.
Other than that, we will see you next week.
Bye, guys. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.